So coming to sections, let's start with DILR. So DILR, it has like different type of data sets which you need to get accustomed to. So I would say, I think they're trying to move more towards logical reasoning than data interpretation, because data involves a lot of physical calculations and stuff. So especially in the CAT, you will not have time to solve all. I mean, unless you are very exceptional. So start when you go to the exam, be sure that you're going to target only certain set of problems, because you have to invest time to get to the solution. And once you start doing it, and after 10 minutes you realize that you don't know the answers for that particular question, so it's going to put stress on you, and you would not be able to solve the other questions as well. So it is important that you, while practicing itself, you cover all the different type of data sets. Like for example, let's say they'll give permutations and combinations, like people sitting in a chair, or they give different type of data sets like a table or a pie chart or a bar chart or a line chart. So you have to, I mean, I would say, like, list down all the different possibilities, and keep solving at least 5 in each of them every week or so. So that at least you'll solve like 30-40 questions in a week, or maybe 2 weeks, whatever is comfortable depending on your timeline. And that would actually help you to realize where you're strong. So for example, I thought I'm a bit scared of approaching DI because it involves calculations, and I have to invest a lot of concentration and time. So I usually approach LR first and then go to DI. So you might also have some preference, you feel like, maybe I can do these particular problems like bar charts or pie charts easily. And one more thing is they will give Venn diagram questions as well. So that is a pretty common data set. Like if you're strong in that, you can start with that. And so what I'm trying to say is, essentially, when you read like, the paragraph in short, you should be able to know that, whether you'll be able to solve it or not after these 3 months of your prep or 4 months of your preparation. So that is very important. And apart from mocks, you also keep giving this for this sectional test, at least one in every 2-3 days, so that you keep improving your accuracy and speed. And next, coming to quant. So quant, I feel that is the one advantage, is that if you don't know one question, you can skip. You can go to the next question. Whereas in LIDR, you have to skip like 3-4 questions to go to the next question. So quant, one of the trick which I got suggested by one of my professors was, so you should be able to know that you can answer the question right away just by reading the question. Like may not be, some questions may not even need a pen and paper. So but you should know the approach. Okay, I have to do this and this and this, I'll get the answer. So do those kind of questions first. So let's say out of let's say, I don't know how many questions they're giving. I'm sorry, for us it used to be 34. At least out of those 34, 15 questions will be easy, very easy questions. So the problem is you have to pick them. So don't go with the given order, because it is randomized order. So you might get any order. So you read it. If you find it difficult, skip. You can do it easy, then do it. Then read the complete paper, solve the first easy questions. Let's say you solve the 15 questions, and then go to the next difficulty level. Okay, so these minimum marks are guaranteed for you, and you have like about half the time left to solve the remaining questions. So and while you prepare, even in quant, you have certain specific topics. Like for example, you have circles, triangles, and geometry, and you have like so. For example, for me, I find the circles and it'll take time for me, to think and use different theorems to find the answer. So I usually skip those questions. I start with whichever I'm confident with, like mixing ratio and proportions and all that. So which, there's like a certain process which you have to follow to get the particular answer. And also, I think they also give few questions on probability and all. So I'm strong in that. So I choose those questions because they do not need much time. You need to think of the logic and just apply the simple calculation. So while practicing also, you can practice in this particular subheadings or topics. As I said, for let's say you start in, let's say we're in August, you start in August. So, give 1 week for each topic. Get a lot of topics and give 1 week for each topic and solve all the questions. Or else, if you want to speed it up, give 3 days, solve a few questions, go to the next topic. So that you'll cover all the basics and then you can come back and pick your strengths. And I think that's all from my side in quant. And coming to VA, verbal. I one thing which I understood is it's not just CAT is important. You also have to keep in the mind that the next round, which is the interview, and a lot of places you have to give one pager uh, essay sort of thing, which they will give you like half an hour or so. So I used to read a lot of newspapers. So there's like two benefits. So by reading newspaper, your vocab also improves a lot, and also you get to know all the current happening things around you. Okay. So, and which is very important for an MBA guy to know, because each business is affected by a lot of factors around you, like the government, the markets, and all. So, yeah, so that is one suggestion I'd give. Please read your newspaper every day or the editorial section, at least spend half an hour or so. Because I was scoring a bit less in VA when I was in engineering final year. I did not score well in VA verbal. So I thought of giving much more focus to this particular area. So, and even here you have the passages take a lot of time because they're okay. So the major weight is two passages. So you need to be strong in reading quickly and picking out the only the important things. So that is why I suggest you to read newspapers. Of course, practice is anyway you're going to do. And one more thing I suggest is read the questions before doing the passage. I don't know whether that is a common strategy, but read the questions. Then which, because if you read the passage and then you come to questions again, you read the first question again, you go back to the passage. So you lose time. So read the question. Okay, so when you're reading, you know that okay, this question I need to come back to this passage. Okay. And for some questions, they might be easy, so you can directly, while you're going through the second para, you might find the answer. You can mark it and go to the next paragraph. So that will actually save some time for you. And if you just give it a try. Of course, give a try for 2-3 exams and do whatever you were following before. See the difference. If you find some difference, then you can pick the strategy. And that's what I used to follow. And I didn't solve every pass. I think I left 1 or 2 passes, but I scored decently on it. And also, if you find the passes very difficult for you to understand, maybe you don't know about. Sometimes our mind gets partial to certain topics. So let's say it gives about sports or something, I'm very tempted to do that. And sometimes I get like, something which is socialism and all, I might not, even though that is, it gets, there's some natural fear, for us to approach that pattern. So if you find something which is easy for you, just start with that. Don't go with the particular order which is given in the question paper, because it is in a randomized order. So that is one important thing. And so that is what I majorly did. So, and if you have some friend or someone, it's good to discuss and sort of a debate about things that are happening around you. So this will also help you in vocab, and also help you in the final interview, where the professors interview and really about a lot of general things happening around us. And I think the other is you have rearranging of sentences and all. I think actually some people start with those particular questions because they're single questions and solve the easier ones and then go to passages. But I started with passages because I was confident with those. And one more strategy was while reading the sentences, there is you can choose an option or you have to enter the order. So entering the order is like you have 120 chances, but if you choose an option, like there are only 4 options, so you can basically, they are easier to start with because there are only 4 options, so you can get some clue, and it is always easier to find out the first statement, and based on that you can save time. So if it is if it is, enter the order of five statements, please. I mean, I would adjust. If it might be easy, but I would usually attack them at last if I have time. Yeah, so that is how I approach the my preparation. Yeah. So I wanted to share my experience or my opinion with a couple of things which I completely loved about the EduShastra product. So first thing is the customized learning experience, which I always felt like right from my school that, which is kind of necessary in educational field, to support all kinds of people who have different interests and different strengths and different weaknesses. So the advantage is that, people who are doing slow can have more time to improve themselves, and also the people who are doing well can do fast and move ahead. And the second thing is that, these buckets which you have, that there are different kind of programs planned for 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 classes. And people who are already doing well, it is mostly focused on practice, I think, obviously. And people who are in the lower deciles are going to get more concept understanding, and then they will be pushed towards application. So, which is how anyone would do. I mean, I personally did. First, I got the concepts right, and then I started attacking problems.